Okay, welcome everybody to the Mackay Tourism Members Webinar Series. I'm very excited to be hosting this first webinar for you. My name's Liz. I'm Liz Ward from Digital Coaching International and also from Tourism Tribe, proudly wearing my Tourism Tribe polo shirt today. And this is a very exciting commencement to this series. I've been working with Nellie from Mackay Tourism to be able to put this together. But before we start, some important things. If you haven't already done so, please turn the sound on your computer or tablet so that you can make sure that you can hear me. We are recording this presentation and Nellie will be able to send you a link and share it on the Mackay Tourism website. You'll be able to ask questions using the Q&A function of this webinar platform, this Zoom website, and I'll endeavour to answer those questions for you at the end of the presentation. So if you move your mouse around, you'll see that there's a menu that pops up at the bottom of your screen, and that's where you'll see you can put a question, you can also do a chat. So please feel free to use those, put the questions in when you like, and I'll do my best to leave 10 minutes or so at the end of the presentation to be able to answer those. After this session, Nellie is going to send you a link to an online survey. It's really important that you complete your attendee survey and tell us what you thought about this webinar and each one that you attend. That's really a requirement of participation so that Mackay Tourism can deal with their funding contract for this series. So it's really important that you do that. Great. So let me tell you a little bit about this particular webinar, the first one. What we're going to do is I'll explain how you can make use of this webinar series to improve your business performance. That's what this is all about. It's about improving the business performance and enhancing your digital savviness in your own business, which of course is going to benefit the entire Mackay economy. If we can get more tourism businesses to do better, then the whole visitor economy improves. We'll be talking about the 5 stages of travel and what excellence looks like at each stage. That's a really important framework that you'll see as a theme then continuing through the series. Also, what is a digital marketing strategy and how that can help you grow your business. And we think this is really important because we talk to a lot of small businesses in the work that we do in delivering coaching and through our interactions on the Tourism Tribe website that say that they're doing lots of things on social media and doing lots of posts and they've got their website and they're doing Google ads, but don't really feel that that's gelling together and they can't really tell what the return on investment is for them and how that's linking in with their business goals. So we hope that the work that we're going to do with you and introduce you to a digital marketing strategy and templates is going to be really useful to you. Now, just a little bit about Digital Coaching International. You may know Fabian Wintle, my business partner, and also Wendy Smith. We all have a very extensive background and experience in the tourism sector and digital. And we have come together to try to really help businesses to improve. We love working in the tourism industry. We love helping small and medium-sized businesses. That's what really gets us up in the morning. And that's why we do what we do. So we're really appreciative of having the opportunity to work with you. Module 1, about this webinar series and how you can use it to improve your business performance and what you'll learn. As mentioned, organised by our friends at Mackay Tourism to grow the digital capability of businesses. It's accessible to all members. Now we're going to cover a range of topics. We're going to get quite broad, covering digital strategy, online reputation, content marketing, social media, search optimisation and email marketing over the course of 6 webinars. We're going to be discussing each of the key elements that should be in your digital marketing strategy, and that's what this really colourful diagram represents here, is our version of the pieces that make up the puzzle of a digital marketing strategy. And we'll be explaining that to you throughout the series, and we're going to touch on each of these. But the great thing is that even though we've only got 6 hours to spend with you through these webinars, you can get a lot more help. And I'll explain that in a sec. 45 minutes presentation, 15 minutes for questions. This 6 hours, we're going to cover these topics at a high level. And where you can get this extra help from is through your complimentary 12-month subscription to Tourism Tribe. Because if you register and attend one of these webinars, you're entitled to that as part of our arrangement with Mackay Tourism. And that Tourism Tribe membership is going to provide you with the longer-term learnings and help to implement these things that you learn and these improvements to your business. The reason that we've started Tourism Tribe is that we absolutely believe in the philosophy that no one is an absolute expert at everything to do with digital marketing. And if they say they are, they might have been for a split second, but then something's changed and they haven't kept up. We believe in the approach of community and people working together to learn and to share their learnings and their experience, what's working in their business. And that's why we've developed the Tourism Tribe website, for businesses in tourism to be able to keep learning, keep up with the changes in technology and get help with implementing them. So through Tourism Tribe, you're going to be able to access with your starter membership hundreds of tutorials and articles, question and answer forums. We've got experts in the tribe who are so enthusiastic and committed to coming in and answering these questions that you have. And we've got a help desk, which is managed during business hours. So there's always somebody to turn to when you've got a question who can point you in the right direction. So we really look forward to seeing you on that community. How you're going to access that is by going to tourismtribe.com/join. And then you are going to use a discount coupon code called TTWKSP, Tourism Tribe Workshop, TTWKSP. And I'll remind you of that at the end of this session. So please go ahead and do that after the webinar. In my view, to apply the learnings and really get the benefit from this webinar series, you'll attend each one and you'll engage, you'll ask questions, and I think that will provide the most benefit. So even if you feel like you are quite expert in some areas, I'm sure there'll be things that you can pick up, even if it's a question you have and you know that you can go and get the answer on Tourism Tribe and get that discussed there. You can do that in between the webinars and take advantage of that. Just looking forward, the second webinar, this is really important, the second one, because it's going to be your introduction to the digital strategy template and the action plan. So you can really, we'll show you how you can connect your business goals and your digital priorities and get organised and get more efficient with all of your digital work. You're going to be setting goals, you're going to be identifying how you're going to measure your achievements on digital, and you're going to be prioritising what you need to do. And that's really key to making improvements and building momentum in your digital marketing. Attendees will be able to access a downloadable version of these slides, but also please, of course, take notes of important things that come up in the presentation. Ultimately, it's up to you. You can either focus your time on a particular webinar and the topics included in them, or you can get a broad understanding of that and use the entire program to advance your skills. So it's either a little bit or the whole lot, and certainly, you know, that is entirely up to you. But developing that plan is, in my opinion, will really transform your approach, because it's a big gap for a lot of people at the moment is being organised around digital. Okay, let's move on to Module 2. Now this is where we really get into some presented learnings and some framework thinking to set us up for the strategy work and learning about the different platforms in future webinars. So Module 2, the 5 stages of travel and what excellence looks like at each stage. You're possibly familiar with the 5 stages of travel: dream, plan, book, experience, advocate. Now, we used to draw this in a straight line. Things have really changed since the digital age is is upon us, and that's what we're working in. And this kind of model is the same no matter what you're buying. You might be dreaming about a new kitchen or a new boat or a car, whatever it is. But you have that inspirational stage, and then you work through the research and the purchase, and then experience the product, and hopefully then becoming an advocate for that product. Now, because of mobile technology, the incredible amount of content and information that's available to travellers whilst they're travelling, in their spare moments, on different devices, while they're waiting at a bus stop, they can do this dreaming and planning and get the information they need at all sorts of times. So that means that we need to be very aware of all of the different channels that they're on and the type of information that they need. It also means, from their perspective, that this cycle is not linear. It doesn't just move in one direction. They can be moving back between dream, plan and book quite constantly, and they can be doing it in destination once they've commenced their holiday, and they can be advocating whilst they're on holiday as well, and of course they do that. Essentially, what we're dealing with now is an environment where there's very short lead time, or much shorter lead time on bookings, particularly for domestic travel. Now, the key to working this cycle well and understanding what is going to work at each of these stages really begins with understanding your target customers' online purchase journey, the platforms they use, what really works for them. And by way of example, Pam and John. So meet Pam and John. They're real people. They live in Hervey Bay. They hit the road for 3 months of the year and do other short trips as well. And they're pretty typical, when we interviewed them, of the platforms that they use. So when they're researching where they're going to go, they use YouTube a lot. They're very hungry for video information as authentic portrayal of road conditions and things that they can see and do along the way. You'd probably be familiar, if you are campers yourself, or if you service any road travellers, any caravan and camping community, of the WikiCamps app. It is the app-based Bible for campers and caravanners, and they use that extensively. They also use Google for search as they're coming into town centres, and they can get internet access again if they haven't had it previously, to search what service is available. And they use Facebook throughout their travels to stay in contact with family and friends, and also they're inspired by family and friends' travel ideas. Slightly different for this couple, who's myself and my partner by way of example, Liz and Jared. And what we do when we're booking holidays, so we're your middle-aged empty nesters, is that we use Google extensively for our search, as do a great vast number of the population. We use TripAdvisor all the time for verifying our selections before we book. Facebook and Instagram are daily activities for us, and that certainly inspires and influences us. And we, of course, are big sharers when we're on holiday, because that's when we've got time and feel that we've got really interesting things to share with our friends. So we're going to do some work in future webinar series about defining your customer journey and really getting a close understanding of that, so that helps you then to select where to put your digital marketing efforts, into which channels. What are the priorities for you and your target market? Now, why do we want to have excellence at every stage of the purchase cycle? We want to do that because ultimately we want them to book with you. Of course, we want to get those bums into beds and bums on seats, and we want to grow that market share that you have. But even more so than that, once they've booked with you, you've got that engagement, you've got that relationship. We want them to be an advocate for your business and the experiences that you offer. We want them to help tell your story, and that's when they become a member of your marketing team, and that makes your marketing team much bigger than it was previously. And it's the power of advocacy, the power of word of mouth. You know, that is still the top influencer of people's holiday and destination decisions, is word of mouth. So that's why advocacy is so important. And if we think if that's just the one key benefit we get from understanding and using social media and review platforms better, then that's well worth it, because it's building that loyal fan base who are going to tell your story for you. That's going to make a critical difference to your digital marketing. So how did your business respond? This is what the traveller, what the consumer is doing. They're dreaming, planning, booking, experiencing, advocating. How does your business respond to that? Well, there's another lens that we can look through for the travel purchase cycle, and this is looking out from the business perspective. And that is that what you want to do is you want to attract and engage them in their dream and plan phases. You want to convert them to take action with you. And of course, conversion means different things in the digital space, but for simplicity, we want them to book with you. And then we want you to delight them. We want them to be delighted, because it's that delight through experience and customer service that is going to convert them into a loyal fan for you and grow that loyal fan base. Now, we'll be looking at the attract, engage, convert and delight framework more so throughout the webinar series, and use that as a basis for our prioritisation. Now, let's talk about the indicators of excellence at each stage. So the dream stage, what's happening there? That's where, as a member of your target customer base, I want you to inspire me. Now, did you know that most people, the vast majority, actually turn to the web very early? So in this dream and plan phases, that they turn to search. Search is absolutely key, and when we're talking about search, we're very much talking about Google. So Google is the #1 search platform, as you'd be aware. If we follow what Google does in the way that they keep reinventing their product to meet their customers' needs, if we adopt that philosophy, then we're on the right path. But a really interesting statistic, and this comes from the Google Think website, which has some very good travel research papers on it and insights they've put together, is that a lot of people, over 50%, haven't decided on where or how they're going to travel. So I like the where bit is really interesting. They haven't decided on a destination. 65% of them haven't when they start researching online. So that's a huge opportunity for destinations like Mackay to have a really strong online presence, a great presence in Google, so that Mackay experiences and tourism options are hitting the first page when people put in searches for a particular type of holiday that they're looking for. Google is incredibly important in our digital strategy. So hitting the G spot, making Google happy. This means that content that ranks well for your customers' searches and leads them to your destination and your business is really important. That you have a mobile-friendly website, a critical strategy, that is search engine optimized, once again critical, and that your business has a strong and positive listing in Google My Business. So once again, this is introducing these ideas, and we'll be going into these in more detail in future webinars. But just some key points to support excellence at the dream stage. You're providing genuinely useful content out to your target market. You've understood that target market and the content they need and the channels they use. You're creating and curating, so bringing together and sharing relevant and quality content for your market that shows you understand them. And you're creating content that captures the emotion of the experience that you're offering. Videos, great images, stories, helpful information, that all makes up your content strategy today. Your business is being discussed and shared on social media and review sites. We want to encourage that. And your tourism partners are sharing your content because your content is so relevant and useful and of good quality that your tourism partners, other businesses in the Mackay region, Mackay Tourism and Events Queensland, they're picking it up and sharing it because it's so good. Inspirational content often is in the form of video and great images. And just by way of a quick example, I often look at the Taronga Western Plains Zoo for this, because I think just even within the confines of their website, they have really put brought together some great content, and they really use video well to express the experience that their target market can have. So the plan stage, what's that all about? Plan stage is about building trust. You know, is this for me? Is this really for me? Okay, so I've found this when I've been doing my research. Should I continue with this product choice and put it on my plan for the holiday? Now, once again, search plays a really important role here. So Google plays a really important role because 50% of leisure travellers always start their travel booking process with search. And people are going to look at, statistics vary, you see numbers between 30, 40 different websites to make choices about where they're going to stay and what they're going to do. So they're bouncing in and out of Google through links to find what really sort of meets their needs. So you really want to build trust through content that they can find, and they find you on Google. It's no point in having a fantastic Google My Business listing, great website, if you don't have a positive online reputation. That's really important and essential part of your strategy. Having up-to-date quality content on your website, showing your target market having great experiences, content in language for your different target markets, blog articles that tell stories about how to have that dream holiday in your destination or type of holiday that you offer. Interests that you share with your target market, you can blog about, and we'll do work on blogging. We'll explain to you what good blogs look like and how to get them out to your market in future series. Educational content that helps your target market understand how they can access and enjoy your destination and type of experiences you offer. And don't forget, make sure you stand out, expose your something special. What is it that only you do better than your competitors, and make sure that comes through in your information. So once again, just a couple of examples here going back to Taronga Western Plains Zoo. I think what they do really well on their website again is they really express the type of experiences that people can have, and they make it really easy to move through those experiences. So their website isn't so much about labels, about what to do, things you can see. It's about staying the night, what events are on, how to get around, and really helps people move through on an experiential basis. The other thing they do is they make it easy for people to move to the booking stage with them. So they provide really useful information, all well structured. You can see all these icons sitting on a map. They really make it easy to move to that booking stage. So booking, what are we trying to do here? What you're trying to do is you're trying to convince me that what I see is what I'm going to get. Do I trust you enough to actually hand over my credit card details and make the commitment to staying with you or going on your tour or visiting your attractions? Another way of looking at this is that you're removing the barriers to booking. And some tips to do that is that on your website, you will include accreditations that you have, so associations that you belong to that give you that stamp of approval, testimonials from clients, reviews, so you've integrated your TripAdvisor reviews on your website. What that does is it shows transparency and credibility. And when you think about what the big booking websites do, like Booking.com and Expedia, TripAdvisor, they make sure that people are feeling really convinced to visit that business or stay with that accommodation business because they have all of that review information at their fingertips. So it's a good way for you to stand up and compete against the big guys. Frequently asked questions. What are the questions that your customers ask you? Make sure you've got them on your website. Now, I know it doesn't guarantee that they won't phone you and ask you the question anyway because they don't read it, but get it up there. It also helps with search engine optimization. Online booking, there is no more than 3 steps to purchase. That is the best practice indicator. So make sure you have a really user-friendly, mobile-friendly online booking system. your phone number and book now button at the top of every page, and consider online chat. That's a really popular engagement tool for consumers now who are busy and moving between websites, and they're on the hop, they're checking things on their phone. There's an online chat there and they've got a question, you can engage them and answer that question straight away. We have an online chat on TourismTribe for that purpose, so that in an instant you can start to talk to Wendy, who runs our customer service desk, and get quick answers that you need. So just a couple of examples here. So once again, the zoo, I think their layout of information, pricing information, product information, just so well organised and easy to understand. Lady Musgrave Experience, they do the frequently asked questions very well, and they also have a Facebook chat app integrated. You can see on the right-hand side of the screen there. So they do both, and make sure that potential customers have got a way to get their questions answered. And then another example here, this is with a website business called Sail Away up in Port Douglas, and their use of testimonials as well as TripAdvisor reviews integrated onto the site under What Our Guests Say. A good example, I think, of covering off those bases and making sure that there's a little room to not have that potential customer move to the booking stage. So moving on to the experience stage, what are we doing here? Experience, this is, for me, the experience begins with once they've done that booking with you. So that's when you've got the most ability to influence the relationship with them. When you think about it, when you've made that booking, that's sometimes as good as the actual going on the holiday. That's the anticipation piece. You know, really looking forward to that break and the place that you're going to stay and the things that you're going to do. So for me, experience is not just when they get to you, it's once they've done that booking. And this is about, you put your brand out there. What's brand? It's the perception about the experience that they're going to have with you, the type of customer service they're going to receive. So you put a brand promise out there. This is about keeping that promise to them, because remember, we're on that cycle. They've done the booking with you. You want to move them through a really happy experience so that they then advocate for you. So what you need to do is create braggable moments, because people, when they're on holidays, like to share and brag. And for me, that means exemplary service before and during the experience with you. And some thoughts on this to share with you is enable content sharing through links to social websites, and having that social connection before your customer travels. So I'm sure most of you have links to your Facebook business page, your Instagram feed, etc., your YouTube channel. If not, they're things that we're going to suggest to you and see how you can factor that into your digital strategy, but making sure that those channels are linked on your website. Commence email or SMS engagement before they arrive, to clarify any queries they have and build that relationship and build that anticipation. Through email, you might be able to send them some helpful hints about holidaying in the destination and what they can do. You know, it really shows that you care about what they're going to experience. If you're a tour operator, SMS engagement can be fantastic, just to give them weather tips, what to bring, where to meet tomorrow morning. I find that really useful as a traveller. Make it really easy to contact you. So make sure you've got that phone number, email contact, online chat, all of those things that you can make it really easy to connect with you on your website. And I think another good idea is to offer partner deals, so that they're getting your recommended great value offers on local things they can do, local places they can stay, places to eat, different services that are in the area. This all helps to improve their holiday experience, and you've done all that engagement before they even get to you. Just by way of example, Lady Musgrave Experience with their linked social pages on their website. When we get to the service element, this is so critical. So this is when they are with you. Now remember, this is the stage when you have the greatest influence to turn your customer into an advocate. this is where you want to surprise and delight them. What sort of things can you do in your business, in your customer service, that's a little bit more than they might expect, and really leave that great taste in their mouth, which is going to lead to a higher level of motivation to write a positive review for you, or to do a quick snap and post that on Facebook or Instagram about that incredible service. I remember hearing recently, and I actually experienced it in Bundaberg myself as well, not long after that. So I heard about it for a motel in New South Wales, and then I stayed in a motel when I was up in Bundaberg for work. And what the owners did in the morning is they came out, it must have only taken them about 10 minutes to whip around all the cars, and they did a quick windscreen wash on the car and left a little sticker under your wipers to say, now you can see where you're going. Hope you have a great day. Safe travels. Da, da, da. What a wonderful little thing that they do. What sort of extra special thing can you do? Also, how can you tailor your service for your target market? Thinking, that's an example about road travellers, business travellers, and having a clean windscreen is just such a basic thing that's so helpful. What is it about your target market? What's that something special you can do to add convenience to their experience, or to even liven up and improve their stay with you, and improve the romance of it all. Now, speaking of romance, a business we often watch, well, we follow this business, we've worked with them, have had a long-standing relationship with them, and that's Witches Falls Cottages on Tamborine Mountain at the Gold Coast hinterland. And they have been working social media really well. They worked their website, they worked their content really well for a number of years. They're Tourism Awards winners. And I think the proof is in the pudding with them. And it was really not hard for me. I wanted to go and find a post that somebody else had made on Facebook about staying at Witches Falls. And I found a friend of a friend I'm connected to who'd done this lovely post about them. And they've gotten 36 likes to that post. When you think about that, that every person on Facebook has an average of 240 friends. So the potential is huge if you can get people commenting and liking and sharing. So, that's the power of advocacy when experience and service is great. And then looking at Instagram for Witches Falls, it's very easy to find, because it's such an open platform, it's very easy to find posts that people have done where they've hashtagged or tagged Witches Falls Cottages and bragging about their experience. And we know that Witches Falls do extra special things for their guests, and to really kind of lift the romance and the experience of staying in such a pristine area, bushy area up in the hinterland. So I think these are great examples of getting people to do the work for you in your marketing team, and it comes really easily for them if you're providing amazing experiences and service. So advocacy. Making it easy for me to share your story. How can you do that? You engage to build advocacy. Now, your customers are members of your marketing team at this stage, and all your hard work in delivering that fabulous experience and service, delivering on your brand promise, is now going to be rewarded. Their feedback is a really generous gift to you, and their advocacy is the greatest contribution to your business. So feedback may not always be positive. I mean, usually is if it's on Instagram, well, it's always is if it's on Instagram, as a rule of thumb. It, in the majority, is if it's on Facebook. And the majority of times it is if it's on TripAdvisor, but sometimes it's not perfect feedback, but it's still a gift. And that's the world we live in, is this really open feedback and instantaneous feedback. So their advocacy or feedback is happening whilst they're experiencing your product and after. And I'm sure some of you already do this, that you send an email and thank them for staying with you, or thank them for their business, and invite them to leave a review. But it's not just about inviting them to leave a review on TripAdvisor. The growth in other platforms like Booking.com, Booking.com do a great job. They always chase down feedback from people who stay with you. But certainly the growth that we're seeing is really ramping up now on Google reviews and Facebook reviews. And your customers are going to have their preferred place to actually leave a review. So certainly inviting those reviews is valuable. And the more reviews you get, the better you perform, and your review management starts to yield leads and sales for you. So we can see here that we've got an example here of this enchanted garden, which is like high ropes, that kind of thing, a business in Victoria, and they have all of their accreditations listed here. They've got their social feed connected by way of example, and thanking customers for their posts and feedback is also really important. So when you respond to reviews, remember to talk about future events and specials. This is the upsell part of review management. So tell them about what's going to be happening in the business and the destination in the future. When you next come back to visit us, then you'll enjoy this, or we're looking forward to seeing you again. And these are all top tips that TripAdvisor provide to really improve your reputation management. Activate your relationship again in the future through email marketing and social media posts. One of our webinars will be on email marketing, and Fabi, my business partner, will be presenting that. She's the guru of email marketing and lots of other things, so that will be a great session. And offer special deals to your followers and prior guests. There's still quite a substantial percentage of, and it shows in the recent Census social media report, of people who, when they follow a brand or a business on social media, they do expect to get treated with some kind of special treatment of discount coupons or special deals. So make sure you reward your followers and prior guests by treating them with some special treatment. Okay, let's move on to module 3. What is a digital marketing strategy and how it can grow your business? So digital marketing strategy, and this is our opinion and our words, but we're finding the proof is in the pudding with our clients who we're working with, is an essential first step when you want your business to become more digitally savvy, improve your online presence, and increase your online sales and bookings. The benefits to you are that you will be able to prioritise, and that helps to address the challenge that we hear over and over again, that people don't have the time that they think they should put into digital marketing. And we think, just on that point, that an absolute minimum for a small business to be able to do digital marketing at a minimum in a planned way is 5 hours a week. But better 10 hours a week if you can give it on average a day a week, or 20% of your working time. And I can hear you all scoffing, I work longer than that. Then that is ideal. But having the plan will prioritise that, and it will take that feeling of being overwhelmed away. Speaking of overwhelmed, there is a myriad of digital marketing opportunities available. It's a very dynamic environment, lots of boxes to consider in terms of opportunities. So it helps to take that away. You will become more efficient. There is constant change in search algorithms on Google, social media. God, it's so hard to keep up with all the new things that are being introduced on Instagram and Facebook. They keep moving things around and introducing new functions and changing the amount of reach you can get. Digital marketing trends are changing. So if you've got a plan, you can then adjust that plan to respond to changes. The plan provides a focus to increase efficiency and effectiveness. And like I said, you'll be punching the air. You will feel so efficient once you've got this plan in place. Get targeted, set goals and measure. Track your performance and do more of what works. All of these things are going to give you more confidence. Coupled with the learnings that you're going to get from Tourism Tribe in this series, you are going to be so much more confident in this space. Efficiencies from truly understanding your customer and what they need, and that is essential. It is a central point we will keep coming back to, is how do you connect with that customer through telling your story, through the right channels and the right content, and deliver true value and excellent experience to your target customer. So having really understood that customer very well, you might just think, oh, I could tweak my service, I could tweak my product a little bit, because that is going to make them want to book with me, but brag about me as well. Now, I mentioned these 4 outward-looking things from your business before, the things that you're trying to do in your digital marketing: attract, engage, convert, So sell to, get them to sign up for an email newsletter, get them to take an action on Facebook. And that's about conversion. It's lots of different things in the digital space, and then delight them. And I think that this provides a really simple framework in which to prioritise and measure your digital strategies. So we bring that into the digital marketing strategy template to help you get organised. Now, you can expect that each of these key digital marketing opportunities that are in this wheel of a jigsaw will be in your digital marketing strategy. So your content will be central to it. Search will be very important. The search optimization and performance of your website's important. Online reputation, critically important, because everything falls over if that's not great. Social media, if you're going to do it well, and it's part of everyone's business today, so you've got to do it, and particularly relevant to travel. Email marketing still works really well in tourism, and you've got that relationship with people. Utilize it and give them the information that they need. And measuring and tracking, because unless you're measuring and tracking where your customers are coming from, you can't keep improving. All of this comes up together into a digital marketing strategy, and then what drops out of that strategy is your digital action plan. Now, what channels you choose and the content you produce will be unique. It will be unique because the personas of your target customers will be unique when you map them out, and your business is different to the next business, and what your extra special thing you do is different. So that means that whilst we might all have the same plan template in our businesses, because of these things and our available resources and budget, there will be variations. So don't feel for a moment that your digital marketing strategy and action plan is going to look the same as your competitors. Now, when we talk about a digital marketing strategy template and we talk about the action plan, what we've done is we've connected the two together. But just to quickly introduce you to the sorts of things that are in the digital marketing strategy, you are going to be entering business goals, your market and customer context, so information about those. You're going to be considering and listing your competitors and partners, what your customer needs are. So you're going to be defining their personas and what content they need, what digital platforms they use. You're going to do a SWOT on your digital presence now, and you're going to set your digital marketing goals. So that's about where you want to be with your digital marketing. That could be about your social media presence and growing your following. It could be about visits to your website. It could be about online bookings. It's probably a mix of those sorts of things. You're going to be listing your priority strategies and tactics to get there, and then also how you're going to measure your success. Whereas a digital action plan, that's a living document, and we want you to use a collaborative online tool to do that, and that's a Trello board. And that's going to be accessible to your team members, where you're going to be able to plan activities with them over a 3 to 6 month period on a fortnightly basis. You're going to be able to keep track and measure. Best of all, if you've got 1 or 2 people in your business who can help with this, you're going to be allocate resources, so allocate tasks to them and get that collaboration across your small team. Now, we've connected the two of these things together through the Trello board, the digital action plan, where what happens is we bring, it's basically like an online whiteboard, and some of you may have used Trello before, and it's a free tool that you'll be able to download and copy the template that we've created. And what it does is it brings together the research and business context. So we link in everything from here. So you're going to be able to get to that digital marketing strategy. You do have to have gone and done your Tourism Tribe sign up to get to it though, because it's locked behind that the Tourism Tribe membership. So you need to do that to be able to get to the templates. But here we're going to get you to list those business goals and those digital marketing goals in here. So your digital marketing goals in here, so that that's always present. So they're going to run across here, and then we get into the ideas that you're going to collect, and then we're going to suggest on a fortnightly basis that you have a list of the things that you're going to do, and you're going to track some key metrics from your website, maybe your Facebook and Instagram pages, to be able to, on a monthly basis, check how you're tracking. Now, I hope that's given you a bit of an introduction to what we're going to be covering and set the scene in terms of the digital marketplace and the framework that we suggest you think about to try to organise your thinking, organise your knowledge around what your customer is doing. But you don't have to do much now between now and a fortnight's time when the next webinar is on. But what I'd like to do is just step through the takeouts from webinar 1 and just the things we would like you to do. So you will get the maximum benefit from this webinar series if you do attend all webinars and engage with them. I want you to immediately after this webinar to go and join Tourism Tribe and use the discount code TTWKSP. And what that does is that's going to give you a free starter membership. So you're going to select the starter membership option and enter that code, and then you won't have to put credit card details in. You'll have complimentary access for 12 months. So that's the starter membership option on the join page of Tourism Tribe. Developing a digital marketing strategy action plan, that's the critical step in applying learnings, because if you don't write down what you're going to do and prioritise it, you're not going to gain that efficiency and you're probably not going to implement new things. Understanding your customer's online purchase journey and developing strategies to attract, engage, convert and delight are very important in building momentum and making improvements to your online presence. Doing all of the things that Google likes a business to do will put you in a good position to attract your target market, because Google is such an important platform in the dream and plan phases of the purchase cycle. Content is a fundamental element of marketing today. When we talk about content, we talk about all forms of content. We talk about text, blogs, images, videos, stories that you're going to create. All of those things are content, and that is at the heart of being able to be successful on social media and have better website performance and have good search engine performance. So it needs to be at the core of your digital strategy, and you need to start thinking about, when you're thinking about the skills and resources in your team, who's good at those things? You know, how do we improve our skills to be able to get better at producing content? Understanding the power of online advocacy and social media and how you can participate in those particular online communities is also critical today. And I think that's a really big shift that we've had to make for those of us who have done traditional marketing and broadcast marketing, is that we have to learn how to be part of those online communities and part of our subgroup of the target market that's agreed to follow us, follow our businesses in these social media platforms. How do we think like them? How do we give them what they need? And whilst they are, you know, everyone tells you Facebook is now a marketing platform. Yes, it is. But the majority of people who are on those social platforms is because they want to be social and they want to engage with friends and relatives, and they don't want to be sold at. It is their choice to follow a brand or business. It's our privilege to offer them content that's going to keep them interested in us and keep them loving us and engaged with us. So in terms of a wrap up of the presentation before we check if there are any questions. So think about now, what are you going to do? Is there anything from the information provided now, even if it's just sharing with your team this webinar presentation when it's posted up and shared by Nellie, what are you going to do is that sign up for the next webinars, for the next one on the 22nd of February. So go back to Nellie's email to you, the Mackay Tourism website, and follow that link through and sign up for the 22nd of February. Tell your friends and colleagues who are members of tourism to do that. Go and join Tourism Tribe. There's a survey coming your way via email from Nellie, and that is a condition of participation. And we will keep hounding you until we get all of those surveys back, because Nellie really needs them to be able to acquit her funding application for this valuable webinar series. Video recording link will be shared by Nellie. Also, only for attendees of the webinar will we share the PDF version of the slides, and that can be quite useful if you just want to look through and use them as a form of notes, print them out, write on them, etc. And Tourism Tribe for questions, more knowledge and expert advice. I plan to deliver most of these webinars and draw on the knowledge that sits in Tourism Tribe and the wonderful expertise in there. As I mentioned before, core philosophy for us is no one is an absolute expert in this space, and no businesses get 100% score either. When an online assessment is undertaken, it's impossible. But what we can do is learn from each other. So make sure you take advantage of that. And certainly that's what I do. I draw on that expertise and all of the great content that gets produced and published on Tourism Tribe. So just in terms of the next webinar, that's about planning for growth. So that's where we're going to get into those strategy documents and the template and teach you how to use them. So there'll be a lot of going live on that one and recording that for you to step you through how to do that. And of course, then you'll have the recording to tap into later, as well as some notes like these presentation slides to rely on. So that's the 22nd of February. So make sure that you register for that so that you can join it. Now, what I'd like to do is to just check if we have any questions. So a question from Sandra, thank you. Are all webinars at the same time? Yes, they are. They are all going to be at 12:30 p.m. Queensland time, but they're not every single fortnight. We've put a break in around Easter, I think it is, around the schedule, so that you've got a bit of a break and then you pick them up again. And there are 6 of them. Are there any more questions? Are there any comments? Would anyone like to share any comments about how they think they might use this webinar series, or anything that was new to them or helpful in the presentation today? All right, everyone's nice and quiet, and we're just about at an hour. So remember that you can ask questions on Tourism Tribe if you like in the forums, in the member forums, and that's a great way to get answers from experts like Fabian and lots of other digital experts who are on there. So please do that. What I will do now is say goodbye and thank everybody for their participation and for attending. Hang on, I'll just check. We might have another. We've just got a chat. Let's just see. Oh, some chats. Great, thank you. Thank you, Kelly. Yes, found more information about this and how I can plan. So that's terrific. Thank you very much, Kelly. All right, so we'll close it out now and let people get back to their busy days. And thank everybody for attending, and hopefully we'll see more of you online on the 22nd of February. So thanks everybody, and see you soon. Have a good day.